Dear members of the European Centre for Press and Media Freedom, dear colleagues, I'm very honored to address this conference today with so many journalists and dedicated media freedom experts. And I'm truly sorry not to be able to join you in Leipzig, the city where in 1650 the first daily newspaper was printed, Ein Kommenden Zeitungen. It's the oldest, in its oldest meaning, Zeitung means nothing less than information or news. This conference comes at the right moment, at the right place. Media freedom is under stress for various reasons at different levels in many countries, including in the OSCE region and participating states. We are faced with major challenges regarding freedom of the media. Journalists are threatened, intimidated in many countries almost daily. They are attacked, sometimes even killed, and a lot of them are in prison, accused of treason or for terrorism because, in fact, of their work. We have many other issues. In some countries, public broadcasters are brought under political control. We are faced with a decline of pluralism. We have to tackle fake news and propaganda. And anti-terrorism legislation impacts on freedom of the media, even in the oldest democracies. This means that we urgently need a very broad coalition to protect freedom of the media. We need to unite media professionals, media labor unions, digital rights experts, the audiovisual industry, civil society, and to get the states themselves to respect their commitments. At the OSCE, my mandate has been established exactly 20 years ago as the world's only intergovernmental media freedom institution. I monitor the 57 participating states of the OSCE, I alert them when the things go wrong, and I provide assistance and give advice to improve legislation and policies. OSCE participating states have taken strong commitments to respect and preserve freedom of expression and freedom of the media. But those commitments have to be implemented, even at a time of serious challenges. We should aim to build on this issue a new consensus in favor of media freedom in a time of security challenges. Unfortunately, the OSCE region is also one who holds a shocking world record of over 170 journalists in jail, most of them in a few countries, including Turkey. We should not accept this. A new consensus means to refuse to oppose freedom of the media and security, because there is no strong society with weak media, with weak freedom of the media. Freedom of expression and freedom of the media are the heir of democracy. They create the space for open debate by all actors in society. Open debate brings better understanding of viewpoints and leads to the way towards compromise solution. Open debate and the freedom to hold governments to account can only improve the quality of governments by detecting weaknesses, needs, and new questions. And it's my belief that freedom of expression and freedom of the media strengthens the resilience of society confronted to security challenges and terrorism. That's why I will concentrate on 4 major priorities, which are also, for all of us, areas of work which we have to tackle. Safety of journalists is the first one. We have to protect journalists who too often risk their life to inform us. Attacks on journalists are attacks on our own freedom and on the whole society. ECPMF has recently started the Journalists in Residence program. This offers a very important possibility to journalists at risk to find a temporary safe haven. The program deserves our full support and that of governments and local authorities. Cities can play an essential role here. You can save lives by getting journalists out of their country for a while when they are under threat. But this program not only helps journalists, it also sends a powerful message. Democratic societies need journalists. They value their work and stand ready to protect them. This is why we must put an end to impunity of crimes committed against journalists. Impunity is a passport for violence against the press. My second priority, as I already insist on it, is to ensure that freedom of the media will not be opposed to security needs. We must guarantee that anti-terrorism legislation, regulation of the internet, and policies combating hate speech are designed in conformity with international obligations, that they are proportionate, and that these policies don't put freedom of expression and of the media at stake. The third priority is to deal with fake news, disinformation, and propaganda for war and hate speech. They can inflame tension in society or between countries in conflict. They weaken public trust in the media, but policies against them should not be based on censorship. The best answer to fake news is quality of journalism, ethical journalism, debunking disinformation, and to invest in media literacy in education as early as in high school. Sadly, everybody speaks about it, but nobody wants to pay. The fourth priority is to protect pluralism in the digital area. The media landscape is changing rapidly and profoundly as a result of the digitalization of information. We need to analyze the consequences, in particular for pluralism, for freedom of expression, and to ensure that pluralism will remain in this new area. Dear member of the European Centre for Press and Media Freedom, freedom of the media is both a strong aspiration among the people of the OSCE countries and a fragile reality. It's based on strong commitments, but it's fragile because of the context and of the many threats against the press. Your role to protect these commitments is essential, and I stand ready with my team to help building the coalition to protect media freedom. Every effort is welcome here, because ultimately what is at stake is the freedom not only of journalists to work, but of each individual to access to information, to freely express his opinion and his ideas. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for the work you're doing.